Hello, this is Dr. Hassan Abdullah with the course Web Applications Programming. And the topic which we are discussing is search engine optimization, which is topic number 13 in the list of topics. Since this topic has a lot of content with reference to how to make your web page, which points to your web application to come at the top or among the top pages. So that is why it is divided into three lectures: 13A, which has already been covered, and this is 13B. So we will look at how the techniques and tools can be used to improve your search engine optimization to bring your page among the top pages. So this is going to be covered and developed using the supplemental website, which is www.easymcq.com/goget. It has many features, and some of those features are listed on the screen in front of you, along with the URL where the videos are available so that you know about those features. In a nutshell, it has strong search capability, basic search and advanced search, which is not there in other popular learning management systems, which I would not like to take their name. So you can perform flexible search and you can perform search by fixing the order of the keywords also. For example, data structure unordered versus data structure ordered. So the number of results vary. And of course, the results are also highlighted. And then is the visual disability support. If the user has some visual disability, then the user can set the font size, color, line spacing, and so on, so as to make that person comfortable with the desired environment. So that is not there in many popular learning management systems. And then there is the hierarchy. So the all the content is presented in a very organized manner so as to facilitate your learning. First is the statement. You click on the statement, you see the bullets about that statement, and then you look at the detailed answer about those bullets are explained. And then there could be a diagram if needed, and there are references also. And then, of course, you can also test yourself. There are practice exams, practice quizzes, which are graded, which tells you the correct answer, and which also explain the solution to you. And you can take those exams multiple times, and it is all recorded. The average is presented, the analysis is done for you, and then the content is designed in such a manner that it works with different types of devices, a tablet or a laptop or a PC or a mobile phone, and even if the mobile phone is rotated. And then, of course, you can track your progress also, that what you have done, what you have not done, so that you know what needs to be done. And of course, that helps in assimilation of knowledge. Now the approach, the learning approach adopted in this course and all the courses which are using this learning management system is the question and answer based approach. So the concepts are presented in the form of a question, and then you are challenged to answer that question. So what is the advantage is it's a proactive approach. So it challenges you, unlike just a passive approach of presenting something and then going into some description and so on. Number one is that advantage. Number two is engaging. It is kind of an interactive approach. The system asks you a question and you come up with the answer, and you look at the explanation, and then you in the process you learn also. And of course, in an adaptability is there, and because we are directly looking at the real world problems, and those real world problems are presented in the form of questions. And of course, it's the critical thinking also. It's not a passive approach. Critical thinking, and we are much better than machines in thinking. So therefore, this approach is adopted of thinking, right? Challenging you to think. And of course, then there's the advantages of traditional approach also, when facts have to be presented. So this approach which we have adopted here is the best of both worlds. So this is the list of topics in this course, Web Applications Programming. And as you can see, that topic number 13 is search engine optimization. Now, within that topic number 13, there are 10 question and answers. And each of these questions and answer is itself a concept. So that is divided into three lectures, 13A, which is the first three Q&A. And then we have 13B, which is the next three Q&A. And then is 13C, which is the last four Q&A. So I'll be going into details of all of these Q&As, and we'll do that at the supplemental website. And we now move on to the supplemental website. So we move on to the next Q&A for 13B. So we start with, what is the role of keywords in search engine optimization? Well, keywords are the fuel on which the search engine optimization works. Keywords are the bricks on which search engine optimization is established. Keywords are the building blocks of search engine optimization. Keywords are a lot. So we cannot talk less or about keywords and their importance. So let's start with these bullets. So What do the keywords? Keywords help search engines understand the contents of the page. Okay. So because the keywords provide the context, okay, and using those keywords, search engines then determine what that page is about. So keywords are everything. So of course it's not only the keywords, but where do you place the keywords? So the proper keyword placement in titles, in headings, and the body text helps the spiders or the bots or the crawlers properly index the content, accurately index the content. And what it leads to? It leads to the visibility for the relevant search. And if you recall, when we started this topic, the first bullet was visibility. So it's not only the keywords, but where you place them. That's important. Okay. So let's move on. Let's move on. So then keywords also match user intent with the web content that we have already spoken about. So by when you target the phrases, okay, which the users are searching, then the keywords tend to kind of align with the user needs. And when the keywords align with the user needs, then your page basically that gets visible. Okay. So not only the page becomes visible, it comes in the in the search results, but it comes to the right audience. And when they can find the page, when they can find what they are looking for, obviously that increases the engagement. Okay. And when the engagement is increased, the bounce rate decreases. Why? Because the users are getting what they're looking for and their queries are satisfied. That's why the keywords are important. Of course, keywords improve page ranking and their relevant searches, but remember that search engines are very smart. And if you try stuffing the keywords, it's not going to help you a lot. As a matter of fact, it might go against you because it's rather trivial to note that keywords are being stuffed and they are repeated. Those days are gone decades ago. So using targeted keywords. Now you need to search about those keywords. For example, if you there are the different websites and portals where you can search for the importance of the keywords or which keywords are trending. So from there you will know what keywords to use. Okay, and those keywords increase what the chances of high rank. Okay, when those keywords or search terms are used, high rank of your landing page. Landing page is the page which will appear or where the user will land. It could be anywhere depending upon those keywords used. So when a search engine which has indexed your page comes to know as in this match between a page content and the user query, okay, of course it's more likely to rank that page higher, to rank that page at a prominent position, right? That's pretty obvious. So what does those keywords further do? They enhance the content and they optimize the structure. So how does this happen? Basically, it guides how to move through your landing page, and how that guidance is done based upon how you place the keywords in the headings and in the subheadings and in the paragraphs and how you organize everything, right? Because you have to lead the spider through your web page, right? Such that your page gets properly indexed. There, and of course, it's not only guiding the spider, but the way it is organized improves the readability, okay, of that page for the humans, okay, and it kind of signals that the content is relevant. And who's the signal? Of course, the search engine, right? So so you need to look at all of these things, okay. And of course, when you properly kind of take the search engine bot or the spider, it results in better indexing. And when the indexing is better, it results obviously in better SEO performance. So what the message is that you have to uh you this has to be done with a lot of thought and it requires working also. So what are the how do you guide the internal linking and the navigation? So keywords you use in the anchor text for internal links, right? that not only helps the users, right, to navigate your site effectively, but also it helps the search engine to navigate your site effectively. And they also establish the relevance between the pages, okay, linking among the pages, okay, and of course that improves the SEO experience, because what you are presenting is a better site structure. So the point here is that you need to organize your content in such a way, right, such that it is navigatable. And remember that your content is dynamic, it's not static, because you can craft, okay, static content spending certain amount of time, okay, but that is good for a certain period. But when this course is about dynamic content, so when you are working with dynamic content, it requires a lot of thought, and not only thought, it requires a lot of coding also, logical coding, right? So that you need to be aware of, and you should be doing it. All right. So here is the explanation, uh, and of course, keywords are very important. So now the point, this question number five is that basically this question number five is that how SEO can be achieved using HTML. HTML is more about structure, but we can use HTML commands to improve SEO. And the last Q&A, which is question number, I believe it's question number 10. So in that, we'll talk about that how PHP can be used to achieve SEO. Okay. So there are quite a few ways of achieving SEO using HTML, right? And of course, you can adopt this static approach also. But in the context of this course, the objective is that this should be dynamic. Okay? This should be dynamic so that you don't have to change it everywhere. You change it at a single place, okay, and that usually that single place is a database. You change it over there, and then the whole structure of your page changes because the new HTML is generated. Okay, let's go through them one by one. Some of this might we have like covered before, so I will kind of go through the stuff which we have covered before. I'll go there a little faster. So title tags we have already covered, right? Because that increases the click-through rate that we've already covered in the previous. Incorporate meta descriptions. This we kind of covered, okay? But this meta description basically gives a brief summary of the page, okay? And where does that summary appears in the search results? Now, this is not a direct ranking factor, but it engages the user. How? Because if your description is well written, okay, and it is enticing, then the user might be prompted to click on it, okay, and then they clarify the page relevance to the search engine. That's it. So you see that to make your web application stand out, you need to have, if you are doing it yourself, so you need to have certain marketing flair also, okay. Then are the header tags, and maybe you don't know, I used to work as a marketing manager for a software house. So, okay. Apply the header tags. These header tags basically organize the content hierarchy, okay? And of course, when it is organized, right, then of course it also improves the readability. And remember that these kind of work in reverse. Reverse means that H6 is a smaller font as compared to H1. All right, so let's move on. So optimize image attributes with the alt text. So this alt attribute used in the image tag, right, describes what that image content is about, right? And it is for the screen readers, right? And it is for the search engines, because it helps. This is extra work. Of course, this is extra work, right? But if you include, I'm sorry, if you include the descriptive type, if you include keywords focused with the alt text, this improves the accessibility. And not only it improves the accessibility, but it allows the images to appear in Google results where the images are listed or images are shown. And what it does, it of course it boosts the visibility. All right. Then is using the semantic tags, use of semantic HTML tags like article and section, etc. So what do they do? They provide meaningful context about how the page is divided. So there are other tags like the article tag, section tag, aside tag, navigation tag that helps the search engines understand the content and understand the purpose and understand the relationships. Okay. And when the search engine understands this, that improves the content indexing and the relevance. So what you're trying to do is that you're doing all this effort, okay, this is which is not like coding, but you're doing all this effort so that the spider or the search engine effectively indexes your page. So when that indexing is effective, that increases the chances of your page becoming or coming at the relevant position when the search is performed. Create clean and readable URLs with the anchor tags. Okay, we kind of covered this before also. So what it says that the URL should be should have keywords which are descriptive, okay, which are rich in meaning, okay, and which makes the links easier for the users to understand, and it makes it more meaningful for the crawlers, because if it's meaningful to the crawlers, then of course your indexing is better. So if you use clear and human readable URLs, and these which are also meaningful, that improves the navigation, that results in better link relevance, right? So the details are given as we move ahead. So add open graph and tutor card meta tags. Use robots meta tags to guide the crawling. This is interesting. So this basically tells the robot and how to crawl and index the page. Robot means the spider, which are like used by the search engines. So if you put setting like no index or no follow, that is going to help prevent indexing of duplicate, private, or non-relevant pages, right? So that is going to basically improve the overall site SEO health. So what I can suggest is that maybe you write an application, okay, which basically goes through and you submit your page to that application. You can make that application in PHP, should not be very difficult, and you just implement them as rules. So it's a rule-based SEO, which kind of fixes the SEO issues in your page, and of course that will increase the ranking. That will improve the ranking, as a matter of fact. So ensure mobile responsiveness with the and with the viewport tag. I'm sorry. So what is that tag? Okay. So this basically that helps the site to scale for different and all devices. Cannot say all devices, but most of the devices. And those devices, because there's no issue if I'm using a laptop or a PC or even a tablet. The issue comes in when I'm using a mobile phone, because the screen size is small, number one, and the orientation of the screen changes. So if I have buttons and the screen is in portrait form, those buttons may get kind of jumbled together. All right. And so need to work on those buttons, their font sizes and the button sizes also, and so on. And if the screen is rotated and it is in the landscape mode, then of course those buttons do not create an issue. So need to take into consideration all of them. And of course add structured data using JSON, okay, or micro data. So what is this? Basically, this structured data helps the search engines understand the content, okay, and how by basically you mark the elements like products or reviews or events, okay, and for that you use JSON or micro data, okay, with select star ratings, event times, enhancing visibility, and the click-through rate also. So let me show you some of those tags are given there at the end. So some details here, and then these are the tags, okay, key elements and tags used. And here is a sample HTML, okay, there is the sample HTML, and these tags are used here, okay. So you may like to use these tags, and of course this is going to help a lot, okay. It's going to help, no doubt about it. So this is the HTML approach to increasing, okay. So now we move on to the next Q&A for 13B. So how do search engines rank the websites? Now this is basically, if you go to the, if you recall, the first question was search engines. So there was a block there which was the algorithm. So basically this is about those algorithms. that how those algorithms work and what they are doing. So we will not go into a lot of detail because there's a page rank algorithm as a matter of fact. But here we will cover that what a search engine looks at to rank the website or to rank the web page, your landing page. So we'll go over them, right? And of course, this is what that should be there in the page. Remember one thing always, that you may have not may you have developed a wonderful web application and a web portal, right? But there has to be, it has to do go through SEO so that it gets indexed and it starts appearing, right? Then of course you will reap the benefits of that web page or the web application what you have developed. So the one of the most important things is the content, the relevance of the content and the quality of the content. So search engines are not dumb, okay? Don't ever think, okay? They have been around for like decades, probably more than 2 decades, and they prioritize the content based upon how informative the content is, how accurate the content is, and how closely aligned the content is with what the user is searching for. All right. So if the content is of high quality, it's not copied, okay, it add value, and the content is original and it answers the queries of the users, okay, and that answering is effective also, then of course that page is going to be ranked higher, okay. And of course there has to be a certain depth and value, okay. And of course it should not have any like irrelevant or fluffy stuff or duplication. As a matter of fact, if your page consists of typos and it has other stuff, that gives not only a bad impression to the to a human visitor, but the web page also, I'm sorry, the search engine also ranks it at a lower position because that shows lack of professionalism. All right, let's move on. So keywords usage and optimization. Keyword usage and optimization. So use proper keywords in the titles, use proper keywords in the headers and in the body content, okay, because the search engines understand the page topics. And now with the LLM and all and AI, this has become more profound. And if you overuse it, if you just stuff it, okay, which used to be like probably 2 decades ago, now it leads to penalties. So place the keyword strategically, and there should be a natural integration of relevant keywords. It should not be just stuffing the keywords. And if you do that, if you spend that time, then your page is going to become visible. As a matter of fact, its visibility will improve. And when there are targeted searches, okay, users are running targeted search queries, your page is going to be visible. All right. So let's move on. Okay. Backlinks we have covered. User experience. Now, user experience is kind of difficult to quantify. So we have a positive user experience, which is easy navigation, is a clear layout, fast access to information. So you need to engage the user. Now remember that you are doing all of this while you are working with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, and SQL, which were never meant to work together in a three-tier architecture, especially SQL. So you are looking at so many things, and on top of this, you have to make it engaging. So search engines consider those user experience, like the time users spent, okay, the bounce rate, how users or the pages interact, okay, and based upon this, then the search engine determines that how useful the content is. So these are some of the ways of quantifying the user experience. And then is the mobile friendliness, which we have already discussed. I don't want to repeat the stuff. And then say let's move on to some more interesting stuff, which is technical SEO, crawling and indexing. Because a page load speed, there's a complete question on it. So technical SEO is like the XML sitemaps. There's a file robots.txt also, which I have not discussed, and the clean URL structure. These all help the search engine, okay, and help do what, crawl, and help to index the content efficiently. So if you use proper tags, proper schema, structured data, okay, which is not visible to you, okay, but it's visible to the spider, so that will enhance the crawlability of the crawler, and it will prevent the duplicate issues. Okay. Secure and accessible websites. So use HTTPS, right? That we already discussed in authentication. And when you use that, it is considered more trustworthy. Okay, and that can give a ranking boost also. And of course, if you are accessing through proper HTML markup and attributes, that also aids in indexing. That's extra work. Okay, that's extra work, but it pays off. So what I would suggest that you you add the image alt. Okay, in have an attribute in your table, and that attribute, well, while the image is being displayed, read from that attribute and add the alt. So what's the overall impact? That it makes the site credible and makes effective search. And look at the engagement metrics also. Some of your hosting service provider may provide you with these parameters. Okay, and and of course there are portals which, if you make a payment and if you have significant traffic, they can provide you all sorts of wonderful statistics. Or what you can do is that you can do it yourself, but that requires some coding effort, but it's not impossible to do. It's not very difficult, but you can do this. Okay, so you can basically record these activities in a table, and then read that table and generate the corresponding graphs. So that's going to help you. And of course, your web landing page is also rewarded based upon the freshness and frequency of updates. So that's very important. So regularly update your content. Okay, so that gives the signal to the crawler that the site is active and the site is current, and the topics are time sensitive, like news or trends. And of course, search engines prioritize newer pages. All right, and or you can update the old page posts also with relevant information. So there's a pie chart I'll show you, which shows the importance and how much is attribute to all of this attributed. So you see that this is how your landing page is being looked at. So 22% of the effort is or the importance of significance is the keywords in the meta tag. Okay, and engaging content, that's 26%. There's a big number. So you can see all of this, and you can see the importance of everything. So you see that these two, basically consistent publication of engaging content and keywords in meta tag, is like about 50% of the effort. So with this we complete the material for 13b.